Professor, we are Group 6, and for today's presentation, our topic is culture shock. And for Group 6, we have 5 members, which are Li Peilin, Guo Zi, Zhang Haotian, Bai Junrui, and Wang Xuanyan. And for the first part is introduction. The group focus on culture shock and value psychological research that people may have when exposed to the cultural context that is ridiculously different from their own. At the same time, explain why this research frequently emerges as a range of negative emotion, including disform, anxiety, bewilderment, and loss. It was explored that cultural difference, such as difference in language, habit, value, belief, social norms, and other factors, are the primary cause of culture shock. And for the second part is program's statement on a psychological level. Culture shock generally emerge as strange as and worry due to the need to make psychological adjustment, frequently believing that one has been duped, feeling alone and angry, warning to inacceptable, to adjust to unfamiliar situation, as well as distant by language learning from foreign culture, create a sense of losing everything position, including friends, social stand, and profession. To the honest culture or feeling disconnected from it. So self-role and self-identity lead to misunderstanding, to confirm being shocked, anxiety, or influenced by culture different by research in mind department, which is that believe that locals are persistence, cause different for themselves.
Let's talk about objectives. First, be aware of language obstacles brought on by culture shock. Language problems are frequently caused by culture shock since different significations have quite distinct languages. We could need to speak in a familiar languages when we are in a new culture setting and come across new languages, which can present communication obstacles and handles. Second, it's evident that cultural differences as a fundamental component of cultural shock. Cultural shock frequently results in cultural differences due to the notable variation in social norms, ratios, values, and benefits. Among various significations, it's possible to come across culture in a new setting that entirely unrelated to our own, which is present obstacles and adapting problem for us. Surveys talk about the social obstacles that result from culture shock in the third section. Social convention and patterns of behavior differ greatly between cultures, hence culture shock frequently results in social obstacles. We may run across unfamiliar social mores and behavior standards in our new culture setting, which could make communication between people more complex and challenging. First articles is the significance of culture shock in process of immigrant adaptation was conversed by Barry's paper. He made the point of culture shock from a familiar cultural context may cause psychological and emotional suffering for immigrants. Understanding and adjusting to new language, behavior norms, benefits, and other characteristics can be difficult during culture shock. The second article is the article provides a comprehensive overview of culture shock, focusing on the experiences of overseas students. It investigates a variety of topics, including the emotional and psychological impact of culture shock, the comparing technique used by students, and the long-term implications on academic and social lives. The third one is this research article focuses on the cross-cultural experience of international students studying in Melbourne. It focuses on their experience with culture shock, highlighting the value of social connection and friendship formation in adaptation process. According to the study, students who actively engage with local peers and participate in social activities are more likely to acclimate to their new culture context. Okay, next.
Next is our methodology. And our topic of the interview is culture shock and some physical reaction. And the reason why we choose interview is that we can explore the impact of culture shock on team co collaboration and decision making, as well as effectiveness of coping strategies. And how you did the interview is during the interviews we use effective communication techniques using open-ended questions to encourage detailed response and carefully listening and recording the interview content. And we especially use the Tencent meeting and Teams meeting. And we do this on May 26th. It's on Sunday. And the interview held on first is Tencent meeting. The second one is in Teams meeting. And the next is our results, interview results. As introduction, we ask the respondents about their emotions when facing culture shock and ways to manage their emotions. And then we found that most of respondents felt anxious, curious, and confused when facing culture shock. As for emotion management, they usually use three methods to manage emotions: self-awareness, emotion regulation, and the use of cognitive techniques. And so the for further results, we should refer to 6.1, 6.2, and 6.3. So the next is 6.1, the interview of our participants. In format 1 was Xie Haoliang, and his age is 19. And he is a student in an institution of land and resources, vocational and technical college. And he's a freshman student in college. And so you can see that here is a URL link of our interview 1. And the second is our interview 2. The name of the informant was Liu Yuheng, and his age is 20. And he's currently studying in National University of Malaysia. And his major is business administration, and he is also a freshman student. And you can see that here is the second link. And third one is Li Liang. His age is 19, and he's also a student in National University of Malaysia. And here is the third link of him. And that's always about my part. Next, my friends will explain more.
Okay, this is different information from three different people that we interview, and we can get it from the culture shock, cause confused curiosity, nervous. Some people usually use self-awareness, conductive techniques, and emotional regulation to manage. And the first question is, can you describe your emotion in dealing with culture shock? And the first emotion is excited, confused, and nervous. And the second is confused, curiosity, nervous. And the third informant is anxious, confused, and curiosity. And we can get a summary of three informant. They have the same emotion is confused, curiosity, and nervous. And the second question is, how did you manage your emotion? The first informant told us, uh, the first is self-awareness, cognitive techniques, emotional regulation, and the second is self-awareness, emotional regulation, accepting emotions. And the third informant told us, self-awareness, cognitive techniques, emotional regulation. And we can get a summary from this. They have the same emotion. They have three way to manage his emotion. Is the first is self-awareness, cognitive techniques, and the last is emotional regulation. We can summarize this from three interviews. And the first question, we can summarize this emotions is confused, curiosity, and nervous. I'm also confused about what they are saying because I do not understand exactly what they are saying due to language and culture difference. It also increased my curiosity for foreign cultures and made me want to know more about their living environment and lifestyle. I feel nervous is because the difference between my daily life habit and their habit is really huge. Same as the inspiration, the culture difference can make me nervous. And the last, self-awareness. I will go through what my emotions are like in the moment, and then I would feel the change in my bodily functions brought about my emotions. Cognitive techniques. I talk to myself within myself, suggesting that I can definitely overcome the negative emotions and keep them positive, and then go on to reframe my self-thinking and turn it a positive direction. Emotional recognition. I will take some physical measures, such as going out to eat delicious food with friends, taking to parents or friends about my inner feelings, and so on. And next.
In the subgroups discussion, we have three objectives. Language barriers, cultural differences, and social barriers. Each objectives have their own findings. For the language barriers, most people feel nervous when talking to foreigners. And for the cultural differences, people more likely to feel excited when they face to cultural differences. For the social barriers, when people face to social barriers, they may feel confused. Okay, next page. Let's make a conclusion. In our comprehensive study of culture shock, our group explored the natural causes and the impacts of culture shock, referencing gene barriers, seminal work, immigration, acculturation and adaptation, published in journal Applied Psychology. Barry's research provided the theoretical foundation for the understanding the different stage and psychological process of cultural adaptation. Through this study, we gained a deep understanding of the complexity and the diversity of culture shock and offered practical guidance on how to effectively copy with it. Our research underscores the importance for psychological preparedness and practical strategies
offering robust support and assistance to those facing or about to face culture shock. That's a list of references and the next page. That's our PDNs, including the name of participant and the introduce of this participant, and with our destruction of text. Okay, that's all our group work.